Their oldest player is like 22, 21, you know.
Oof, nice.
So they are a very young team, very young. And so, yeah, I mean, they're already fighting this year. But I think maybe next year or the year, definitely from next year, year after, they will be serious contenders, right?
Yeah.
Because a young team always obviously will improve because all the players are keen. And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
very interesting, very interesting. Chess, nonsense, and analysis.
Yes, Watu. Here we are again. What are we having a look at today?
Well, today we're continuing with the league. So Division A, B, and C, they finished with the fourth round. Division D actually caught up with the rest, and they've also played 4 rounds. But we were still we're going to give results of round 2 today, and then so round 2 for the D, and then we'll look at round 4 for the other sections.
Okay, sounds good. Shall we start with D then?
Yeah. So let's go into the results, and so round 2, Invicticus beat Belleville B 3.5, 2.5. And then City of Cape Town drew with Observatory Chess Club B 3-3. Helderberg beat Steinitz I with a convincing 6-0. CPUTB lost against Guguletu A 2.5, 3.5.
Okay.
Steinitz F lost against Mother City Chess Club 1-5. Mitchell's Plain B lost against Graaffontein C 2-4. UCTC lost against Blackjacks C 2-4. Riley beat UWCB 3.5, 2.5. Graaffontein D lost against Stellenbosch D 1.5, 4.5. Then Stellenbosch E lost against Elsa's River C 0.5, 5.5. ACL B beat Grassy Park C 3.5, 2.5. Then Steinitz G beat Two Nights Chess Academy very convincingly with a 6-0 score. Heidelberg B lost against Crossroads C 2.5, 3.5. Belleville C beat Steinitz H convincingly with 5-1. And then MRL B beat Titans Chess Girls Club very convincingly with 6-0. So those were the results of round 2 in the D section. Should we then move over to the C?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. So the C division, but now in the C division, we're talking about round 4. So Steinitz C beat Stellenbosch C convincingly 5.5.
Okay.
Then Crossroads B beat Steinitz. Well, Crossroads B lost. Steinitz D 1.5. Elsa's River B lost to Blackjacks B 2-4. And actually, that one of the games that we're going to be profiling comes from that match.
Yep.
Which was won by Blackjacks 2-4 against the Elsa's River B, Blackjacks B. Then Manyelani C beat Grassy Park B 4-2. Steinitz E lost against Sutari A 2.5, 3.5. Two Nights A lost against Graaffontein B 1.5. So yeah, those were the results of the C division. And if we look at the C division, we see that there are two teams that sort of, well, there's one team really that has Kraaifontein B is in front, and number two is Blackjacks B. So both of these teams have won, I think, all their games.
Okay.
And yeah, Stein. So those two, Kraaifontein B and Blackjacks B, look like they are the teams that are in contention there on the C division.
Interesting stuff for the C. Yep. Looking forward to that game for later.
Absolutely. So we go to the B division, and in the B division, Stellenbosch B beat UCT-B 4-2. CPUT A lost against Observatory A 2-4. Drakenstein Dragons lost against Bellville A 1-5. So Bellville still pushing there quite strongly.
Yeah.
UWCA, very close match against Delft. So it was a very big match, this.
Yeah, big one.
And but UWCA lost against Delft a 2.5, 3.5.
Ooh, that's
so Delft delivering there, in that match. Very interesting match. And then the next match was Capablanca A beating Mitchell's Plain A 3.5, 2.5. Then Manyanani B lost against Steinitz B 1-5. So Steinitz also recording, a very good score. So the favorites are doing well. So there again, we've got those three teams. They haven't played each other. Steinitz B, Delft A, and Bellville A are the three teams that are leading the B section. Yeah, the B division, sorry. Very interesting division. We're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be very interesting when they start playing each other, no?
Yes.
Top three. Steinitz B, Delft A, and Bellville A.
We are
waiting. Yeah. Should be a very, very good matchups in store there. So now we're going to go to the A division, the Premier division, and let's have a look at what happened in round 4. So UCT A continues with their good results. They beat Grassy Park A 5.5, 2.5. Then Crossroads A beat ACL A 5.5, 2.5. So it's a first win for Crossroads.
Done. Crossroads.
So yeah, very good result for Crossroads. Then now a big match. A big match was because Stellenbosch played against Blackjacks A. So that was also a key match. And Stellenbosch lost against Blackjacks 2.5, 5.5.
Oof.
The defending champions losing another match.
Yeah.
It's looking dangerous for the defending champions now. And then MRL A lost against Manyanani A 3-5. So a very good result for Manyanani A. Then we have Elsis River A lost against Steinitz A 7.5. So yeah, very, very convincing win by Steinitz A there. And then Cape Town A lost against Kraaifontein 3-5.
Okay.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I just want to verify, but I think there should be again 3 teams that have won all their matches, which is Manyanani A, Kraaifontein A, and Blackjacks A.
Yes.
So these are the teams that have won all their matches so far. And right behind them is Steinitz. So Steinitz drew one match against Stellenbosch, right?
Yeah, so
before.
I mean, I think just to talk a bit about the Premier Divisions, a few things that stand out for me. First of all, Stellenbosch. I don't know whether they win a match yet. It's not looking good for them. It's clear that they perhaps are not going all out like last year. Last year they made a huge effort to bring out all the guns when it was necessary. So it's not looking good for them this time around.
No.
Which is a bit sad this early on in the league. Initially, it seemed like it was the draw between Steinitz and Stellenbosch was perhaps a reasonable result by Steinitz, but now it seems like everybody is picking up points there. So it would be interesting to see how Stellenbosch continues. And another point that is always happens in the league. I think Steinitz is the team that usually picks up a lot of game points. They clobbering teams 7.5, half, and so on. They always
at depth of players, right?
Yeah. So they are certainly lurking there, ready to pounce for that first position with those game points in hand. And then just the last thing from me, what's also interesting to see is the teams that are now basically raising their hands or showing themselves, teams like Kraaifontein and Blackjacks that are really showing from an early point. Okay, it's still early days. There's still probably some heavy matches, but these teams are showing that they are here and they are serious and they mean business. So seems like a very interesting start to the Premier.
Yeah. Actually, talking about Kraaifontein, because I was talking to Burton shortly, after their match yesterday, not yesterday, but last round 4, after they had beaten Stellenbosch, and he was saying that their youngest player is in their 20s. I mean, the oldest player. Their oldest player is like 22, 21,
Oof, nice.
So they are a very young team, very young. And so, I mean, they're already fighting this year, but I think maybe next year or the year, definitely from next year, year after, they will be serious contenders, right?
Yeah.
Because a young team always obviously will improve. Because all the players are keen, and so
sure.
very interesting.
Promising signs for them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so things are getting interesting there in the Premier. So what do we have next? Are we gonna have a look at the game next?
Yes,
Our
I
game
think
of the
that
day.
and for me, I'm happy because, and hopefully the viewers out there can be encouraged that, look, please send the games in and, we'll have a look and we'll give our views. And, certainly will be interesting. Should we jump in?
Yeah, we'll jump in, Watu. And also a note from my side, of course, this is like Watu said, we're discussing the game. We are giving our views, but please do not feel like that's the end of the discussion. Feel free to send in your comments, send us more thoughts on your games and so on, and we are always keen to hear your thoughts from the viewers. So today's game, you say we are going to Blackjacks B versus LC's River B, round 4. We have Llewellyn Low versus Angelo Paulser.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a round 1 matchup, I think, and so this match, it was the match that Blackjacks B won.
Is this round 4? You mean, or round which round?
This is round 4, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't verify.
Yeah, no, I thought you said round 1. No, that's fine. I think it's round 4 and C division.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. So Llewellyn has got the white pieces versus Angelo with the black pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look. So knight f3, d5, G3, we have a King's Indian attack. I think we saw King's Indian attack in one of our recent viewers' games as well. Knight C6, interesting move. And we have kind of like a reversed perk almost.
Yes.
Black plays F5, nice and aggressive. What do they call this in reverse? What is it? The Austrian attack or something? I could be wrong.
Yes, reverse,
white plays
reverse
F4, right?
Attack, right?
Yeah. Knight F6, C4, white strikes in the center, pawn to D4, and Bishop G5. What do you think about that one?
I don't like Bishop G5 too much. I think that, look, the classical rules go that, they say that if the opponent's king is in the center, you should try to open the center as quickly as possible. And I think here, because the king is on E8, white certainly has to think about E3.
Just in Benoni style, right? Just open up the center, right? Makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Open up the center and try to take advantage of the fact that the opponent has not castled. And it definitely asks some questions, and I'm not sure how Black would have handled this, but Black has to already tread very carefully here, I think.
Yeah, no, I really like E3. I actually, weirdly enough, I kind of prefer white in this position. I'm usually the type of guy that likes the space and so on, but this looks like a lovely version of the Benoni for me. I'm sure Black has resources, but this certainly does give Black something to think about. I think B4 certainly at some point is also an interesting move, right? Pawn to B4,
yes,
with the knight being bound to the protection of the E5 pawn as well. It's
interesting that you touch upon that, Kelvin, because say a move like B4 is, the normal ideas would be something like if Black plays bishop takes E5, knight takes E5, knight takes E5, then queen A4 check, and then taking advantage of that hanging bishop on B4, because if knight C6, we can then take also on C6, and then queen takes bishop with a very nice structure. But I'm not sure. After B4, there could be lots of complications if white plays E4, right?
E4 could be something,
Black. Yeah. Okay, but white could respond. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, and then maybe knight G5. It's a crazy position. Crazy position very early on, but certainly possible. And but I prefer E3. I like E3 better.
Yeah, E3 seems a lot more in control of things, right? But okay, white played bishop to G5 over here. Black happily plays H6. The trays happen, and knight BD2, bishop B7, and okay. So white goes A3. Setting up some B4 idea, and Black for the moment just ignores it and goes castles, and the rook to E1, and one just gets the feeling that white is taking a bit too long to get the counterplay, to open up the position, or at least attack the central structure. He's giving Black a bit of time to do what he wants to.
I think you're absolutely right, and it looks like Lulu is a little bit unsure how to handle. Maybe changing his mind a lot, but I think since you played A3, why not play B4?
Go B4, right? B4, B5.
Yeah,
unsettle the knight a bit.
Play B5, move the knight away, play E3, try to hit the center, and okay, it's a game, of course, but that's your plan because you have played A3. Commit.
Yes,
you've played A3 and So sure. I think Rook B1 is a little bit hesitant. It's a hesitant move.
Definitely.
Hesitates a bit.
And Black now just says, okay, if you can give me all of this time, why not? I am going to start to attack. So G5 is there, and the two knights are bumping into each other over here with G4 in the air. So knight F1 gets played, and the knights start dancing around. H5, Black is dreaming of a checkmate one day. And finally, white strikes with e4. But now, with this timing, black decides, okay, I'm going to go f4.
I don't favor e4. I think e4 kind of stops your counterplay as white, because look, the point is that it's not easy for black to play a move like, say, f4, because maybe we could play bishop d5 followed by knight e4, for example, right? As white. So certainly, if black is going to advance these pawns, there will be some squares that will be left behind, and it will give us a chance to get play for our pieces, especially the oopsie, what have I done? Especially here, excuse me, I went back. Especially what I wanted to highlight right here was the knight on d2 and the bishop on g2, because you are hoping that these pieces will spring into play, because they are your, at the moment, your star pieces, isn't it? Because your knight on f1 is playing it. So now, as soon as you play this e4, you've actually just sort of cancelled those pieces out.
Yeah.
Right? And now you've got knight on d2 not going anywhere, knight on f1 in terms of counterplay.
Yes.
They are defending, yes, but not, they cannot strike back.
Yeah, and I guess it's a very unrealistic hope that black will take, right, or allow you to capture. If that were the case, then these pieces would again gain some life.
Yes.
But f4 is the natural response. We just
must be played.
Both of those pieces are boxed in. So yeah, well pointed out there, Watu. But okay, I mean, white probably looked at e3 or as an alternative and thinking if he captures, maybe he's offering his opponent's knight a good square. But even this seems like at least you are trying to do something a bit more active, right? Instead of suffocating.
True. And you can look. Of course, your opponent can take back with the knight, of course. But your knight on f1 also gets e3, isn't it?
You'll get the e3 square. And okay, you can also still
then maybe
try
to d5. Yeah. At least some play with the pieces. But e4, I definitely don't favor.
Yes. Okay, so e4 was played, and black naturally passes by with f4. And now white is staring at these pawns, and he plays f3, just hoping not to suffocate, basically. And black continues.
Kelvin, this reminds me of it's like a very good King's Indian for black, because the bishop in the King's Indian is normally on g7, right? Yes. And now it's even on a better diagonal. It's on e7. It can also join into the attack. So this is a very and if you imagine the structure, or rather the positions of the King's Indian, that normally in such situations white would have made progress on the queen side in a King's Indian, and here white hasn't yet even started, right? So everything is going black's way in this.
For sure. For sure, black is super comfortable.
Very.
And white is just basically holding on now. Pushing his pawns like King's Indian style. You said black, that is. H4 takes, queen takes, queen e2, and bishop g5. And the bishop now comes in nicely over there. And we see b4. It's a bit late now. What else for white to do? I guess white needs to try something yet again.
Better late than never, yeah?
Yes. Rook to f7, also a King's Indian-like move, right? Just covering the second rank and hoping to swing over the rook at some point. Okay, rook b1, bishop e6, c5. White has to at least pretend to do something. Maybe that square is open. Maybe he's pushing. Black just includes all of the pieces. King f2.
All the pieces. This is very good play. First, you just bring all the pieces in, and then you are going to explode after that.
And I mean, white must have been feeling the pressure, Watu, because if you can imagine your opponent tripling up on a file, and you put your king there, it's definitely it's not something you want to do. It's something out of you probably see no other comfortable way to continue. And okay, white is just bracing himself here. Let's see. So black was rook g7. It's covering, getting ready to open up the position. b5, finally white pushes on, knight e7, and white now tries to do something on the queen side. Finally, he touches base on that side, takes, and of course, black does the natural thing again and keeps things closed for the moment. On to a4. And okay, if you look at it from a strategic point of view, of course, white is playing on the queen side, but he's just way too slow, right? And black is already fully mobilized. So finally black decides to go g3, takes. Of course, taking here seems to lead into a
suicide.
So white has to step back, and queen h4. The combination of the queen and the pawn always makes one's king feel nervous there on g1. White plays knight c4, knight to g6, protecting the pawn, and the knight is just destined for that f4 square.
Let's put it this way, Kelvin. In a team event, when you see board one who has the black pieces and 200 points less than the player who has the white pieces, and they are having this position, I'm sure you are very happy as a teammate, right? It brings confidence. It looks good. This looks very good.
Yeah, this is a dream. Yeah, like I mean, you mentioned the King's Indian defense earlier on. I think any King's Indian player would be super happy with this, right? This is, if you want to know how to attack, look at some King's Indian defense games, and you get everything here that you want. The pawn is on g3, the knight can go to f4, the dark square bishop is active. Usually you don't even get the a8 rook involved. Like the whole kitchen sink is outside.
Everything.
And you must just cook, basically. So let's see. So I think this is actually a key moment, and black has got everybody ready, and something needs to happen. And it seems like black now starts to doubt himself and flinches, and he goes bishop h6. Not sure what he's up to.
If I could say, something here, it's this is now the moment where you realize that, I'm going to speculate here that I feel that Angelo in this position, he starts to try to find the mate, right? A combination leading to mate, and he doesn't find it. And I also don't think that it is there yet. And then because he doesn't find it, he starts probably to panic, and he feels that the attack cannot break through. However, if you think about it logically, and we count the number of pieces that are attacking versus the number of pieces that are defending, and even if we just exchange some pieces, for example, white has got, let's say, 3 pieces, right? Bishop on g2, knight f1, queen c2, that are defending, right? Black has got 2 rooks, the queen, 2 bishops, and the knight. So if West comes to West, if I don't find a breakthrough, why don't I play knight f4 to take on g2, take that bishop away, and put my bishop on h3? I don't change anything in the position. I just take a bishop away.
The key defender.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I take a very important defender. Like now, if I play, for example, knight e5, okay, of course it involves a pawn sacrifice. But I don't think that this pawn is important at all. Yeah,
it doesn't seem important at all.
Knight takes e5. Let's say knight takes e5. Now you've got 2 options. You can play bishop h3, but I certainly think, okay, I like bishop h3. It's more direct, but I was thinking that even maybe knight takes
knight g2, also looks good.
Knight takes g2, queen takes g2, bishop h3. Just bring pieces in now. So you cannot take because of bishop e3 check, and I take the queen. So the queen must vacate, must go somewhere. I don't know where. I'm not sure. E2 maybe, right? And now I can play maybe G2. Can I not play G2?
E2 looks good.
Right? Finally, my pawn. Finally, I move the knight away, and I'm threatening bishop e3.
Bishop e3.
This looks like the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's one variation. But the other variation also, the one that you pointed out, was in this position to play bishop h3. No. It was knight h2, wasn't it? Your variation was knight h3.
Yeah, it's bishop h3 first. No, it's bishop h3.
Your variation is bishop h3. Yeah. So bishop h3 first, and also just to keep the knight and exchange the bishop, which also looks completely winning, I would say.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This is completely busted.
Yes, but I think it's unfortunate that I think Angelo starts to look for a mate before he's completely ready. He was just a few moves away. Yes. And that should do it. Yeah.
I fully understand you. I think it's nicely put there, Watu, because one can sometimes, and I think I've been in the same situation as Angelo here for many a times, where you get stuck in one idea, and you need to be flexible, in mind, and switch from one idea to the other. So if you see that beautiful checkmate, sometimes you really want to force it to make it work. Instead, just be objective and just play the position, I suppose. So it's difficult to switch over, and I think you maybe your feeling is correct there, because bishop h6 seems like he's frustrated, perhaps. So bishop h6. And what can Llewellyn do? He just continues with his strategy, which is correct. a5, and black hesitates again. Black is not sure. King h8. Yeah, so he's losing time. And now white says, okay, if you're going to do nothing, I'm going to start probing and look for something to do with my knight. Knight d6. Queen drops all the way back to d8. This is definitely not a good sign for black in moving backward.
No, right? This is maybe time trouble, but this is looking. The queen d8 is not a good move at all. I mean, not even a good sign. And
maybe irritated with the knight that's in his camp over there. Queen c5 protecting the knight. Rook d7, and white now, after playing a bit passively the whole game through, decides to finally uncoil here with a nice sack on b7. So white finally breaks basically through his passive play and sacks on b7, takes an a6, and we all know what they say about these two connected passed pawns on the sixth rank, right?
Trouble.
So a6, and black had to give up a rook back. And all of a sudden, white is now the one that's in charge. No mate in sight, and the passed pawn is still quite dangerous.
You know, when I saw those pawns on a6 and b6, I just thought of right here. I thought of a Xhosa expression that says "amanzi angena endlini," which is water is just flowing, getting into the house. So this is what came to my mind. I mean, it's like complete panic time. I mean, those pawns, like really, you're just being now washed away. I mean, E7, A7 is coming, and everything is coming.
You can only watch now. There's nothing you can do.
You can only. It's such a I mean, it's such a sad thing, considering how the position, what a great position black had.
Yes. Yeah.
And now. It's but I suspect that this is
must have been some time trouble involved, right?
Yeah, because can't white just take on f8 as well?
Take on f8, and point to the viewers out there.
Yeah, and then b8 queen, that should settle it. So
queen a7. Let's see the rest of the game. Knight f4. And he finally finds some small combo there. Stops queen f2, check. And
2 queens on the board.
2 queens on the board.
Wow.
Yeah, so quite a pity there for Angelo Paulson not to find the winning attack over there, but hats off to Llewellyn as well over there, Lulu, for, I mean, he got his moment and he took it and he ran with it basically. So bit of passive play there by White at the beginning, but he took his chance. Black for sure needed to be a bit more consistent with his attack over there, but I think both sides can learn from this game what to. Hope
Very
the viewers as well.
Very entertaining game.
Very entertaining game, and indeed, yes. Okay, so yeah, we've actually seen some interesting openings from the viewers, from the players at the league, right? So please, everyone, if you have an interesting game, if you have an interesting opening that you played, win, lose, draw, doesn't matter. We are keen to check it out. We are discovering new things as we go along. Yeah, and that's all the nonsense from my side. Anything from you, Watu?
No, that's enough nonsense for today. And thank you for the players who submitted the game. And yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. If you liked what you've seen, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like and share and comment. And we will see you for the next round. Cheers.